This morning I'd like to talk to you about something very important. This has national security implications because you see a great percentage of the force are armored combat vehicle soldiers, and this affects all the armored vehicles in the force. Since this is such an important topic, I'm going to go into detail and describe the offending substance. I'm going to talk about some history and the origins of this problem, this phenomenon, and then I'm going to give you some of my own opinion on the matter. This is not a subject to be taken lightly. The problem is rumored to have started in World War II with tanks breaking down due to canned apricots on board. This is only partly true. Wikipedia states an apricot, pronounced differently in different languages, is a fruit, or the tree that bears the fruit. There are many species of apricot trees. The apricot is a small tree, 26 to 39 feet, or 8 to 12 meters tall, with a trunk up to 16 inches, or about 40 centimeters in diameter, and a dense spreading canopy. The fruit is a stone fruit similar to a small peach, 0.6 to 1 inch, or 1.5 to 2.5 centimeters in diameter, with yellow to orange, often tinged red on the side most exposed to the sun. Its surface can be smooth or velvety, with short hairs. The leading hypothesis is that the tree originated in Central Asia and China, then spread to other areas of the world. In 2020, world production of apricots was 3.72 million tons, led by Turkey, with 22% of the total. WebMD says apricots are damn good for you. They are rich in vitamins and minerals. There are many health benefits to consuming the fruit. High in antioxidants and possess potassium. They benefit many body functions. Apricots can be juiced, dried, canned, or eaten right off the tree. That's all wonderful, but I will not eat them, and I choose not to let anyone around me possess them. I'm an armored cav officer. I don't like them. Let me explain why. The problem is rumored to have started in World War II with tanks breaking down due to having canned apricots on board. This again is only partially true. Allow me to tell you the whole story. I call it a problem because it's not a superstition, not a conspiracy theory. It is a well-documented phenomenon that has occurred many times since the beginning of armored warfare. Many years ago, as a young lieutenant, one of my soldiers told me the story of how all this began when his grandfather, PFC Peterson, was a young driver on an M4 Sherman tank. True to legend, this occurred in World War II, but when and where has not been well accounted for. Private Peterson was a tanker on the 1-1 tank. Many soldiers in the company called the tank Double Aces, and this tank was well known to every soldier in the 3rd Armored Division, or at least it would become known. On that cold, foggy morning, just shy of the Belgian border, Peterson and the rest of the Double Aces crew were miserable. After pushing hard from Normandy for the last month or month and a half with little or no sleep, it had rained for 3 days. The crew was cold, rain-soaked, and hungry. Earlier that morning, the company was ordered to advance and recon the obstacle on the Belgian border with little or no preparation. They moved as ordered. The terrain consisted of scattered farmland, woody areas, and occasional rock outcroppings. Although it had just begun to snow, the lack of food was the agreed-upon complaint for the crew. Not waiting for their turn to speak, they each voiced hunger to the tank commander. As they crested the hill, starting down the far side, the tank commander gave in to the crew and told the loader to break open a fresh can of fruit. The loader, a new soldier who had just joined the crew 2 days prior, did not have his own P38 can opener. So, as the driver dug in his pocket and pulled out a can opener and turned around to hand it to the loader, The tank skid sideways in the mud, lodging both tracks up against rocks, resulting in both tracks being thrown from the tank. The abrupt stop caused the loader to slam into the tank commander. Unluckily for the loader had a soft head and the commander a hard knee, which resulted in an unconscious loader on the turret floor. As the can of apricots made contact with the gunner's left elbow, shattering the elbow and breaking open the seams of the gallon can of apricots, it spread syrupy apricot juice all over the back of the mechanic. The resting place of double aces was the worst possible place to stop. If it had been behind a berm, it would have been the perfect place. It offered a commanding view of the valley beyond, but double aces didn't have a berm. It was fully exposed to any fire from multiple locations around and in the valley. Whether due to fog and snow contributing to poor visibility, or if the German gun crew was just in a hurry to make its first kill of the day, it's not known why the first of the 88 rounds missed the tank by about 40 feet. The impact didn't go unnoticed. While the crew was focused on their sticky mess inside the crew compartment, a second German 88 was preparing to fire, and fire it did, hitting the left front fender of the M4, but causing little damage. The TC, realizing that the German 88 guns were firing from well beyond the effective range of his M4, instead of returning fire, he ordered the crew out of the tank. Of course, the story doesn't end with the crew abandoning ship and dismounting the tank. As he dismounted the tank, the mechanic attempted to go out his already open hatch, and as he did so, he slipped on the sugary mess on his seat, breaking his nose on the top of the tank. PFC Peterson turned around in his seat and helped the tank commander pick up the loader off the turret floor and get him up and out of the tank. As the crew helped each other to the ground and headed for cover behind a small rock outcropping, the German 88 guns continued to engage, striking double aces 7 more times. Each time the Germans missed the fuel and ammunition inside the tank. Luckily, can you call it that? Luckily, the Germans missed the fuel and ammo, and double aces did not burn. Peterson grabbed my arm. It was uncomfortable, weird, inappropriate. Enlisted men don't do that kind of thing to officers. We were face to face, eye to eye, and he held my gaze. I could smell the Copenhagen on his breath when he told me that his grandfather had grabbed him by both shoulders, and even though tears were streaming down his grandfather's face, he spoke clearly and said, "Those goddamn apricots." We all knew it was those goddamn apricots. From behind the sanctuary of that small rock outcropping, the TC was the first to speak. He said, "I'll kill the man that ever brings a damn apricot near me." The authorization to move double aces back to the States came from General Collins, the Corps commander himself. Months later, when a young recovery sergeant went to load the tank, he counted 32 holes in the tank, including one 30mm hole. Seriously, what Sherman crew shot their own tank? Probably just more bad luck, which highlights the severity of the phenomenon. What happened to double aces, you ask? It was headed to the Patton Museum at Fort Knox aboard a cargo ship. Tragically, that ship was assumed to be sunk at sea. Double aces rests somewhere in the North Atlantic in the hold of a cargo ship. Over the next months until the end of the war in Europe, there are many documented reports of tank problems, bad luck, or whatever, all due to canned, juiced, or fresh apricots. Listen, I'm not superstitious. I'm not afraid of a frickin' fruit, but why take a chance? I don't eat them, and keep them away from me. We're going to wrap this up as we look at data from the historic and scientific record. Now, if you found this video educational, please seek psychiatric help. If you found it entertaining, let me know in the comments, and please subscribe. I look forward to your comments. Until next time, prepare Battle Carry Sabo, crew report, and I'm ready. Driver, move out. As I key the radio one more time. Roger, continue mission. Keep me informed. Out.